So when people ask me, why is it that you as a Muslim care about pluralism? I always have a story in my back pocket to tell. Here's one of my favorites. In the year 610, when Muhammad, then known as Al-Amin, the Reliable, made his annual pilgrimage to the cave of Mount Hira, where he fasted and prayed and gave alms to the poor, when he was gripped by the angel Gabriel 3 times, told Iqra 3 times, recite, and on the 3rd time found the first words of the Holy Quran pouring from his mouth, recite in the name of your Lord who created. There are some traditions which tell us that the Prophet did not know what had happened to him. He was scared. And he went to the person he trusted and loved most in the world, his wife, Khadijah. And his wife said, I can't tell you exactly what has happened, but God would not forsake a man as good, as righteous, as pious as you. Something special has happened, and we will find out what it is. Khadijah said, my cousin is a man of Scripture, learned in the book. He will tell us what has happened. What does it mean to be a man of Scripture, learned in the book in early 7th century Arabia? Waraka took one look at the Prophet, heard the story, peered into his eyes, kissed him on the forehead, and said, verily, the Prophet of your people has arrived. A Christian monk was the first person to recognize the prophethood of Muhammad. The tradition says nothing of his conversion. Tell me Islam is not a faith which embraces pluralism, which embraces respect of people from different religions. There is a story of a group of Christians who came to argue theology with the Prophet, and argue they did. And when the Christians said, it is now time for us to pray, can you give us leave of this city so that we may offer our prayers in peace? The Prophet said, you should offer your prayers in my mosque. And the Christians said, but we've been arguing theology. And the Prophet said, yes, but that, just because I disagree with you on certain aspects of theology, does not mean I don't respect your tradition, does not mean I don't offer you hospitality. Come, chant the praises of God in my very mosque. During the Prophet's time in Mecca, when the Quraysh were particularly aggressive against his growing movement, the Prophet sent a contingent to live in safety under the Negus, the Christian king of Abyssinia. Respect for the Christian king who bestowed in turn that respect upon the fledgling Muslim movement in his kingdom. Again, tell me that our tradition does not have at its roots respect for people from different religious backgrounds. In fact, examples of mutual hospitality, mutual loyalty, people from different religious backgrounds. I will tell you one story from the Shia tradition. Hazrat Ali says to the governor he sends to Egypt a letter. You will find in Egypt those who are your brothers in faith. You will find in Egypt those who are your equals in creation. Right? Again, an interfaith leader knows what it is from his or her own tradition which inspires pluralism.